Every author wishes they could sell a truckload of books. But frankly, that's not the easiest thing in the world to do. Most people sell books one by one. Fortunately, I found an expert who knows how to sell books by the truckload, and you're going to learn how to as well. Hi, I'm Dan Janelle, the author of more than a dozen books, including Write Your Book in a Flash. I'm a ghostwriter, book coach, and developmental editor. And no matter where you are in the writing process, I can help you write your book. Now, let's get started. Brian Judd is an expert on selling books to corporations in huge numbers. Welcome, Brian.
Thank you very much, Dan. It's my pleasure to be here.
We are honored to have you, Brian. Your history in the book marketing business goes back many, 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 many years. You know all the ins and outs of this process. So tell us, who buys a truckload of books?
There are lots of people out there, 13 million businesses that can buy books in a truckload. And so I tell people, if you want to sell books to bookstores, you have to find 10,000 people to each buy one. Where in the special sales area, you can go have one person that can buy the 10,000. So you want to go out and find these people in corporations, associations, schools. The military buys a lot of books, and the government agencies. So we divide it in two areas. One would be the non-retail of those, and the other would be non-bookstore retailers. These would be airport stores, supermarkets, discount stores. They typically don't buy in the very, very large quantities, Dan. They're just like bookstores. They'll buy a small quantity to fill the pipeline, and then as sales occur, they'll buy more and put them all on the shelf. But in the non-retail sector, that's where you get the large sales. You get non-returnable sales. They buy them, and they may customize the book with a logo on the cover or a tip-in page. And so the books are all non-returnable, and typically they pay the shipping charges. So there are a lot of benefits to selling the non-retail sector.
Very interesting. I'm sure a lot of people did not know that. So they're wondering, is my book the right book? So which categories are hot and which categories are not for the corporate market?
Typically business titles are big. Self-help titles are big. Travel, health, fitness. Children's books, cookbooks. We've sold those. We had a pharmaceutical company that makes the products for chemotherapy, and we had a book called Eating Well Through Cancer, and it has recipes about how to deal with when you're going through chemo, for example, how to have a nutritious meal for that. So they bought 52,000 copies of the book to give away. They gave them to the physicians using their products, and the physicians gave them to the patients who were going through chemo. So it was a win-win situation that everybody got the information that they needed, and we got paid for 52,000 books, which was nice. And that was the great thing about that, Dan, is that's an initial order. As they go through that and deplete that, then they have to restock. They have to order another X thousand, hopefully in that quantity. So that's one of the real benefits of the corporate sales. And once you make the initial sale, which is tough, that was about 3 years in the making. But then it just, you get that recurring revenue. It could be every quarter, every month, whatever the frequency may be. So the real benefits of the corporate sales, in addition to being non-returnable, that you get the recurring revenue on that. And you can, if they put in a blanket order, they may order X thousand books every quarter. So then you can plan your printing and add more to that and give larger print runs, which obviously reduces the unit cost of the book. So you're much more profitable. So these
50,000 copies of a book. That's inspiring. I'm sure that got everyone's attention. Is that typical? What kind of ranges are we talking about in terms of numbers of sales to corporations?
It's not typical, but it's not atypical in the sense that it's a carrot out there that certainly could occur. We've had orders for 500, orders for 5,000, 10,000. I would say between 500 and 5,000 would be a reasonably typical order. But there could be more. If you have, we had one company that wanted to increase the awareness of a healthy lifestyle among its employees so they could reduce their healthcare costs. So we had a book on walking. And in month one, each employee got a book on walking. Month two, each employee got a pedometer. Month three, a journal to keep track of their exercise. And they hired the author of the walking book to go around the country to talk about to their employees about the benefits of a healthy lifestyle. So the company reduced their healthcare costs, reduced absenteeism, and increased productivity, which was their objective.
Fantastic. Those are great ideas. So how does this process work? How would an author find a company that would want to buy thousands of books? Is this something that they can do themselves, or is it best to work through someone like you?
Either way, it's something that some do it both, that they try to do it themselves. But you go to a directory, like I'm in New England, get the New England Manufacturers Directory, or they go online to get directories of anybody in your area, in your topic. But you want to find these people, and it's really important to qualify those, because there are really 13 million businesses out there at different sizes, obviously, and you don't want to spend your time talking to 13 million businesses. So you want to qualify these people. So you're talking to those who are most likely to buy your books, and then you contact them. What I do is call first to find out these directories will give you the names of people to contact, phone numbers, email addresses, URLs. So I contact them to find out, is that person still there? And then just describe the products that we have, and then offer to send a free copy of the book, and then come up with a follow-up to that. So it's a process. Once you get started, it could take, you can make calls, 10 and as many calls as you want in a day or a week. And then what I suggest is calling we put them A, B, and C prospects. A are the top prospects, and B are good prospects, and C are not good prospects. So I recommend calling the C prospects first to find out what questions they ask, what objections they have, to get your sales pitch down. So when you're calling your A prospects, that you're in your A game also. So that's one way. I have a program which I can sell the books for them. We work through a national network of about 60,000 promotional product sales reps. And these are not book reps. They're selling promotional products to these non-retail buyers. So we get books to them in a catalog, and a digital catalog, and a search engine, and they go out and sell books for you. So there are ways that if you want to do it yourself, if you have the time and the skills and the inclination, you can do it yourself, or we can do it for you. Or, as I said, a lot of authors do it both. They'll have us making the calls for them, and they make the calls themselves. So,
How can people get in touch with you, Brian?
Brian Judd at bookmarketing.com is the best way. Bookmarketing.com takes you to my website for that also. So that it would be the and I can get back to people most times the same day.
Fantastic. Let's talk about the money. How much money could you make? Let's say it is a $500 or 500 book order. How does that work? Let me phrase that. I'm going to redo this on the edit. Wow, that's great information, Brian. Let's talk about the money. How much money can an author make on this? Let's say they sell 500 books, and maybe they sell 5,000 books.
The pricing, it's a great question, because the pricing is really based upon the quantity. And it's not a percentage off list price as it is in the retail area. It's a cost plus. So if you look at if people are ordering 10,000 books, it's a lot less expensive per book than ordering 100. So you might just get 50 cents a book markup, but you multiply that by 10,000 and you give 5,000, make 5,000 in that order, which is not a bad day's work. But if they're ordering 500 books, you might have a markup. We want to certainly cover your printing costs plus a couple dollars. 5,000 books, you maybe give them your printing cost plus $1, something like that. When they order 50,000 books, they want 90% off, or a large percentage off. So we negotiate that with the author and come up with a reasonable price. If it's you might maybe make 10 cents or a quarter a book. But if you multiply that times 50,000 every quarter, it adds up. But the thing is that you want to look at it as based upon the quantity, and the quantity is the unit cost of, as I said, printing larger quantities drops significantly. So you want to do a cost plus based on the quantity. There is no exact formula. I'm not being evasive, but there's no exact formula for 10,000 books is this percentage, or 5,000 books is this percentage. It's all negotiable, and that's what we do for the authors. We negotiate all those figures, and we come back to the author and say, here's the proposal. They want to buy this many books at this price, and they pay the shipping charges, and they're all non-returnable.
Excellent. I remember one time I sold my book to Mac User magazine, and they bought several thousand copies, and at maybe $1 more than my print cost was. And at first I was surprised when they made that kind of offer, because I was selling my book for, say, $49.95. And when they said we want to buy 5,000 copies, I was thinking, wow, $200,000, this is great. But the publisher said, how much does it cost you to print? And I said, whatever. He said, okay, we'll give you $1 plus whatever. And so that doesn't make any sense. He says, sure it does. This way you get rid of all the books that are in your garage, and you're making $1 times several thousand copies. And I said, you're right.
Dan,
and I met him on a buffet line at a publicity event for an editor's day. So you can meet these people anywhere. Brian, thank you so much for being with us.
My pleasure.
And everyone watching, you can find lots more videos on how to write your book in a flash by looking at our YouTube channel. Thanks for being here. Bye.